Welcome students. In the last video, we had started the exercise questions of chapter 2 economics and we had completed the first 8 questions of the exercise. Now the next question number 9 is, how will you explain the term unemployment? And the answer of this question is, the term unemployment means a situation where people who are willing to work at the going wages cannot find jobs. It means that when the people agree to do work at any wages but they didn't find any job, that situation is known as unemployment. Now the next question number 10. What is the difference between disguised unemployment and seasonal unemployment? And in answer of this question, we have explained about the disguised unemployment and seasonal unemployment. And first of all, we will discuss about disguised unemployment. And it means, in case of disguised unemployment, people appear to be employed, but they are not actually employed. And sometimes in agriculture families, 8 people are working on a farm, whereas only 5 people are needed to do the work. Thus, 3 persons are surplus and they are not needed on the farm. They also don't help to increase the production. If these 3 extra persons are removed from the farm, the production from the farm will not decrease. Therefore, these 3 persons appear to be employed but are actually disguised unemployed. It means that when the people appear to be employed, when it is show that people are employed but they actually not, so that type of unemployment is known as disguised unemployment, and it usually occur in agriculture sector. And here is given an example कि when all the family members are working on the field but there is a need of less members. With the extra people, there is no extra production. These extra peoples are known as disguised unemployed. And the second, seasonal employment, it means seasonal unemployment happens when people are not able to find jobs during some months of the year. People dependent upon agriculture usually face such problems. There are certain busy seasons when sowing, harvesting, weeding, and threshing are done. When the plants are growing, there is not much work, and during this period, they remain unemployed and are said to be seasonally unemployed. So seasonal unemployment means कि when the people don't have the work throughout the year, when they remain idle during some months of the year, so that type of unemployment is known as seasonal unemployment. And this is also occur in agriculture sector कि when there is busy season, कि when the sowing, harvesting are performed on the land area, then there is a need of large number of labor. But when the plants are grown, then there is need of less labor. and then the farmers remove the extra labor, and these people remain unemployed during this period. And this type of unemployment is known as seasonal unemployment. Now the next question number 11 is, why is educated unemployed a peculiar problem in India? And the answer is, educated unemployment is the peculiar problem of India because they are not able to find jobs for themselves. This is a situation where unemployment of graduate and postgraduate has increased faster than among the matriculates. A paradoxical situation is witnessed as there is surplus manpower in certain categories with shortage of manpower in others. There is unemployment among technically qualified persons on one hand, while there are categories of technical skills required for economic growth. Thus, it is a peculiar problem in India. Okay, in this question, ask about the educated unemployment. Okay, how the educated unemployed is a problem. In India, this is a bigger problem because a lot of people who are highly qualified, they don't have job opportunities. They are unemployed. There is surplus manpower in certain categories. Mean there is some fields in India where the jobs opportunities are less. On the other hand, there are some categories where the manpower is in short. Mean the number of people qualified in that particular field, that is less. Mean in India, mostly people are qualified in a particular field. That's why the surplus manpower in a particular field, in particular category, and shortage in the other. In the same way, the people in India technically qualified in a particular field, in a particular skill, but in other technical skills, they are in short. That's why the educated unemployment is a main problem in India. Now the next question number 12. In which field do you think India can build the maximum employment opportunities? And the answer is, there is no further scope in the primary sector because there is already disguised unemployment. In the secondary sector, small scale manufacturing is the most labor absorbing sector. In case of tertiary sector, various new services like biotechnology and information technology are coming up, and there is scope for further employment opportunities. It means that in India, already in the primary sector, there is disguised unemployment. There is no scope of employment opportunities in the primary sector. And in secondary sector, mostly people are engaged in small scale manufacturing. Mostly people work in the small scale manufacturing. And in the tertiary sector, new job opportunities, new employment opportunities develop in the field of biotechnology and information technology. And in this sector, the employment opportunities can be increased. Now the next question number 13. Can you suggest some measures in the education system to mitigate the problem of the educated unemployed? In this question you have to explain about some measures, about some steps through which the problem of educated unemployment can be solved. And in the answer of this question, here we have mentioned some measures. First, vocational education should be encouraged. That type of education can be provided to the students through which they can engage in certain jobs. Second, more use of information technology should be made in giving education. Okay, when we provide education to the students, then there should be more focus on information technology. That's why the new job opportunities can be created and the people engaged in these type of work. Third, education should be job oriented. That type of education should be provided to the people with which they can create jobs. So these are the some measures through which the problem of educated unemployment can be mitigated, can be solved. Now the next question number 14. Can you imagine some village which initially had no job opportunities but later came up with many? And for the answer of this question, we take the example from your book. And in your book, the example of a village, Rampur, has been given. And the answer of this question is Rampur was the village which initially depended on agriculture and on rainfall. Then, when electricity was provided, the people started using electricity to irrigate their field and grow 2 to 3 crops in a year to get more work. Some started small scale industries based on the use of electricity and provide employment to people. A school was established so that the people became educated and started getting employment in and outside the village. The village became prosperous and soon had better health, education, transport, and job facilities. Here is given example of a village, Rampur, which earlier dependent on the agriculture sector and on rainfall. The main agriculture work is dependent on rainfall. But when the electricity came in the village, then with the help of electricity, the people started to use tube wells to irrigate their land area. And now they can grow 2 to 3 crops in a year and more engage in the agriculture sector. And some other people started the manufacturing unit in the village with the help of electricity. The machines are installed in the industries to produce the goods. And a school was established in the village to provide education to the people and gain more job opportunities. And this results in the prosperous of the village and better services of health, education, transport and jobs. In this way, the village can be transformed. Next, question number 15. Which capital would you consider the best? Land, labor, physical capital and human capital, and why? And the answer of this question is same as the question number 2. Here is discuss about the best capital, that is the human capital, and why it is the best capital. We have already explained it in the question number 2. And the answer of question number 15 is same as the question number 2. And now we have completed the exercise questions of the chapter 2 economics. And with this, the chapter 2 economics people as resource has been completed. And you have to complete this work in your notebook and submit it for checking. Okay beta, thank you.